Sports coverage of Monster Energy AMA Supercross is brought to you in high definition. Monster Energy AMA Supercross and FIM World Championship is in the Pacific Northwest, Quest Field in Seattle, Washington. Hi everybody, I'm Ralph Shaheen alongside former Supercross Series champion Jeff Emig, and wow, what a championship we have on our hands. Two former champions battling it out for the 2009 title, and it got really intense a week ago. Things heated up in practice, and then during the race on the track, it got very intense, and it boiled over to a post-race confrontation on the cool-down lap, which was anything but cool. And it even carried over up onto the victory podium between Chad Reed, the series points leader, and James Stewart. As we come into Seattle, just 5 points separate these two title combatants, Jeff, in arguably the most intense championship this sport has ever seen.
Well, and last week in Jacksonville, this was the first time that we've really seen these riders get together. They've kind of done their own thing. But definitely the intensity was there. They raced hard through the race. Stewart was incredible. He was masterful to stay with Chad Reed there through the main event, make a move and then make it stick. But I think for Chad Reed also, he nailed the whole shot. He improved. So with 3 races to go, the intensity is here. Points are very close. I don't know who's going to take it by Vegas, but I'm telling you, it is going to be a great ride.
Well, as we get ready to go racing here in Seattle, let's take a look at the point standings. And as you can see, the two-time champ, Chad Reed, the Australian, with a 5-point lead over the 2007 champion, James Stewart. Andrew Short sits back in third, having his best Supercross season, 90 markers behind Reed. Jeff, we've got a unique track design here and some very unique dirt.
Well, there definitely is. As we take a look at the track map here for Quest Field, you can see there's quite a few turns, 12 turns. There's some rhythm sections. There's some whoop sections that are really getting beat down. The track is going to deteriorate. It's going to be very rutted. The riders are going to make mistakes. This is one of those races where we're not going to see riders make perfect laps. There's going to be mistakes. Who makes the least amount can win the main.
Well, with more on the story of the racetrack here in Seattle, let's introduce you to the third member of our CBS Sports crew. Here's Aaron Bates.
While pressure and tension aren't the only challenges that these riders are going to be facing this evening, this year Dirtworks has brought in some brand new sand-based dirt that's so sandy and so soft they had to bring in 2 tons of Portland cement mix to mix in to try to make sure that the track holds intact and doesn't deteriorate throughout the evening. Today, earlier during practice, it did get heavily rutted, however, and that means that it's going to be all about throttle control. One more thing to take note of, the factory Yamaha hauler is vacant this weekend. Both their star riders, Brock Kepler and Josh Hill, had minor injuries throughout the off weekend, but they are expected to be racing and very hopeful for next weekend in Salt Lake City.
30-second board is up as we get ready for the first heat race of the night. And Jeff, this dirt, as Aaron was pointing out, is going to be quite possibly the biggest challenge of the night for these riders.
There's no doubt about it. Chad Reed has gotten a little better each time that he was on the track, but he did not start out the day fast. He's building.
There you see our airport starting lineup. Chad Reed is here in heat number 1. We will see James Stewart in heat number 2, his title rival, as we get set now for heat 1. Gets a horrible start, and it's Ivan Tedesco.
He bombs the second.
Tedesco on the Red Bull Honda, jumping out to the early lead as Reed comes battling back through the pack. There you see the Rockstar Makita Suzuki with the red number 1, signifying that he is the reigning champion of the series.
And look how much wheel spin there is. Look how much dirt comes flying up. Reed picks off another one here to the inside.
Top 9 riders will transfer straight from this heat race onto the main event. Reed has already battled himself back into that position quickly, not even halfway through this first lap. Those riders that will hold the transfer spots will be highlighted in green. Reed comes across the line in 4th. Tedesco still in front of the former World Supercross Series champion, Pete Voss, in the number 13.
And there's Adams. He did that little double. Wow, look at Reed just sliding it around. Adams was able to take that position, so he's up to
Jeff, let's go back and take a look at how this one got underway and watch Reed.
Here's Reed right here. Focus on the yellow bike. Gets out the gate, but just as the rear wheel gets over the gate, he loses all the drive. They just swallowed him up. But look how methodically he works his way through.
He was between Josh Grant, the Anaheim 1 winner, and Ben Coisy. And Reed now doing everything he can to work his way through. He's battling packed through this field. And
boy, and there's another rider that's trailing Reed right now, and that's Josh Grant on that Toyota Yamaha. He has been fast today. He's been loose, really feeling it. There's Grant to the inside. He's going to block him from the double.
That Joe Gibbs Racing Yamaha rider, Grant.
There you go.
He takes the spot away from him. And such a strong move by Grant. As you said, Jeff, he's been feeling good all day, and he's trying to get on Voss. And he gets caught in the top block. Voss pinched him down tight, and that cost Grant a huge amount of time.
Well, and this is all set up because of the soil here, too, is that when you get into those sketchy situations where you're close to the tough block, the traction and the hold is just not there.
Let's go back and take a look at what happened to Josh Grant as he tried to get inside with Voss.
See, he comes around the outside there, and he clips that white tough block pretty early, and then it actually pushes the last two into his line. Very fortunate that he's kept it on two wheels, but what I was going to say about Grant is that he's been flying all day. And in this situation where you have a rider that's having a standout day, remember, we have a two-man championship battle, but there's still other riders on the track, right? So they all come into play. They're all variables. That
here comes Reed inside of Voss. That'll give him third position. And now he goes after Troy Adams on the Hardin Huntington machine.
But how about Adams? He's been up front here in this race, running second, clearing all the obstacles, being very precise here. And this track is it's difficult to ride perfect. So far, he's executed it like he needs to.
Well, and Reed has got to get every one of these positions that he can, Jeff, because every single position will impact where he'll start the main event. He's in a transfer slot right now when he needs a good gate pick to battle with Stewart in the main event.
Wow, just see Reed there? He just manualed that whole set of whoops. So he's starting to get the flow down. He realizes the intensity. And you got to think that for Chad Reed, you know, nerves and all that stuff come into play. Qualifying, you know, is out of the way. This is the heat race. Let's see if he gets it on the inside.
Here he comes after Adams. Couldn't get it done right there. But Jeff, he's a two-time champion. Isn't he done with nerves by now? Here he comes inside through the whoops. And that two-time champ finds himself in second place in the heat.
That's an interesting thought, Ralph, but I don't think until you've actually won the championship at the final race do the nerves ever go away.
Josh Grant trying to fight back.
Uh-oh. Voss makes a little slip up there. The track just reached up and bit him, and then he handed the spot over.
That'll move Josh Grant up to fourth. But how about Ivan Tedesco, Jeff, on that number 9, on his way to winning his first heat race of the year, if he can hold on for a couple more laps.
Well, you see, he has the advantage here doing this little double as you come onto the start straight rather than having to block the inside. That's what's allowed him to turn a 55.8. That's his best lap. He's been really consistent at that 55-second lap time also. He has that whole set of whoops and that turn ahead of Chad Reed. He's at the top of your screen there on the yellow bike, so you see Tedesco really has a comfortable ride going here with a little less than 3 laps to go.
Bring the Australian rider, two-time series champion, and Jeff, even though he is a reigning champ, preseason predictions said the championship probably would go to Stewart, but Reed has done everything he can to prove all of those prognostications completely wrong. He comes in here with 3 races left to go in the season, and he's got a 5-point lead. An incredible year for this great champion.
Well, Supercross has been treated one of the most competitive championships, and we're taking a look at this heat race here in Seattle. Josh Grant started this season out with a win, a very surprising win. He's had a lot of ups and downs here through this season, but it seems like here at the end of this championship that Grant really has got the demons out, and he's put together some strong rides.
And he's coming after Troy Adams.
And Davey Millsaps is on the gas, too. He's coming after Josh Grant now. A little less than 2 laps to go. The pressure's going to be on to hold this position for Josh Grant, because Millsaps, especially when the track gets nasty, Davey Millsaps totally comes alive.
Grant to the inside of Adams. Adams on the Rockstar Energy bike, tries to battle back, can't hold him off. And instead, it's the Joe Gibbs Racing rider that moves up the position. That'll move Grant up to third as we're on the final lap, and Tedesco works his way around, trying to get that first heat race win of the year.
Boy, it has been a long time for Ivan Tedesco in Supercross since he's taken the checkered flag, whether it was a heat or a main event win. So this is going to be a big confidence builder for him if he can pull it off. And look how much Chad Reed is closed up here. Just a half a lap to go. This is when Tedesco is like, oh, I got to hold on, no mistakes.
Things start to tighten up for Ivan Tedesco. He knows Reed is coming. He's seen the boards from his mechanic, giving him the difference in time between the two. He can see him over his shoulder, but he's got one straightaway, one corner, and a short trip. And here he comes. Ivan Tedesco wins his first heat of the year, and he does so here in Seattle as Chad Reed takes a hard-earned second place. Josh Grant crosses the finish line jump in third, and the first 9 riders are set for the main event. We'll see James Stewart when we come back. CBS, well, they're split right down the middle. Reed, Stewart, and even a Kevin Windham sign in the middle there. Back here at Quest Field in Seattle, Washington. Heat 1 is complete. 9 riders are going on to the main event. Ivan Tedesco will lead them. Kyle Chisholm gets the last ticket out of Heat 1. Jacob Marsack goes to the LCQ. We go to the victory podium, and Aaron.
A weekend off definitely paid off because Ivan Tedesco has showed up rejuvenated. Ivan, congratulations on your first heat race win of the season. But tonight, riders have been kind of complaining or stating how difficult this track is. What was it about that heat race that made you excel?
Yeah, I think just getting a good start. You know, the track's so tight and loose and rutted, and you're in the back of the pack, it's going to be hard to come through. And I got an amazing start. My tire just hooked up great, and you know, the whole team's been working hard. You know, the Red Bull Honda team, all the guys at Fox, Dragon, Dunlop. You know, it's been a long year. I haven't been up here all year, and I was kind of expecting myself to be. So, you know, but it's hopefully I can turn around tonight and get up on here when it counts.
Congratulations on a tremendous performance.
Great ride by Ivan Tedesco in heat number 1. Good to see him on the top step of the podium. Let's show you our Thor highlights from heat number 2 and find out the next rider to go to the top.
And boy, was this race loaded with highlights, as it's Alessi getting the start.
And then Ryan Villapoto quickly jumping into the lead, but you knew James Stewart would come charging hard, but it almost cost him.
How about that highlight, Supercross fans? That's how you keep it on 2 wheels and keep going forward. James Stewart was on the gas.
And he would catch up to Kevin Windham, and the 2 riders went at it. And it was Stewart who ended up getting around Windham to take second, and then he chased down Villapoto for the lead.
And watch this Bubba Scrub over the finish line, just drives past Villapoto.
Staying low to the ground as best he can, flying forward the entire time, and he ends up taking the win. As you take a look at the Toyota results page, it shows Stewart at the top. Tyler Bowers taking the 9th and final transfer position to the main event. Nathan Ramsey will get one final shot in tonight's last chance qualifier. We'll be right back to Quest Field. Energy AMA Supercross here in Seattle, Washington. Let's show you our Yamaha results page from the last chance qualifier. The final 2 riders to make it into the main event, Billy Laninovich and Jacob Marsack. Hi, once again, everybody. Ralph Shaheen alongside Jeff Emmett, getting ready for the main event. It's coming up quick here in Seattle. And Jeff, I think the big story here tonight, outside of this championship points battle, the quality of the dirt here tonight.
There is no doubt about it, Ralph. We have a very difficult track. And I know that we have a 2-rider battle for the championship, but there's a 3rd element here tonight, and that's the track. As the intensity rises for this main event between Chad Reed and James Stewart, as they really try to push it hard, it's the track that could be the competition that could reach up and bite them in the championship for anybody.
Well, let's take a look at our Toyota moving forward schedule of upcoming races. We'll be in Salt Lake City at Rice-Eccles Stadium a week from now. You'll see that race here on CBS, and then we'll wrap up the championship in Las Vegas. Of course, CBS will have the season review show for you. And if you want to come out and check out the races, go to supercrossonline.com, and we'll see you at the stadium. Main event coming up. We'll be back after this message and a word from your local station.
Too much fun, watch that.
races remaining. There's 75 points up for grabs. 60 laps of racing to go. 2 riders, 1 title. James Stewart and Chad Reed.
You know, there's no sugarcoating this. You know, you have to win, or you know, it's not. And you know, I'm the type of person that want to win it, fair and square, no takeouts or anything like that. You know, I just rather either win it or lose it.
And I'm more than you bargained for yet. I've been dying to tell you anything you want to hear, 'cause that's just who I am.
To beat James Stewart in this championship, I just got to keep doing what I'm doing. Be there every weekend and pressure.
You know, the biggest thing, the hardest thing about him, he's just real consistent. Obviously, he wants to win, but I know he, rather finish on the box. And it's pretty much cutthroat. Win or go home.
I've never defended, and I want to shut some people up. I'm not gonna lie. I feel that I'm better than I'm credited for sometimes. Coming into the season, I felt that I had a good game plan. This year's important.
I think the destiny's kind of in my hands, but again, like I said, I got to be smart about it, and Chad's definitely running really good. It's gonna be up to me.
I don't control him, I only 100% control my destiny, and when I'm out there riding my pace and doing my laps, if he wants to shift into neutral and crash, or he wants to, take the limit, beyond the track's capabilities and crash, then that's out of my hands.
For the main event here in Seattle, Monster Energy AMA Supercross and FIM World Championship, down to the final 3 rounds. 20 laps here to go tonight in Seattle. Chad Reed, the reigning champ, holds on to that number 1. 20 riders are in the gate. Ivan Tedesco and James Stewart taking the heat race wins. James Stewart was the fastest rider in qualifying. Kevin Windham, who is in the main, the defending winner from here at Quest Field. Stewart and Reed. Jeff, this is what it's been all about all season long.
The pressure is on, the intensity. Final 3 Supercross events right in a row. This is going to be a tug of war all the way to the end. See which rider, who can dig the deepest, who can be the strongest, the fastest.
There's our monster starting grid. Of course, you have to take into consideration the tricky surface here in Quest Field. Josh Grant on the number 33, the Anaheim winner, in between the 2 title combatants. Turn 1 is going to be so key here tonight. You've got to get through there first, and that tough dirt here in Seattle. Here we go, the main event. Michael Lessig gets the whole shot. Chad Reed is down in the first corner. He cannot afford to have that happen. And Stewart buried in the back as well.
There's Chad Reed. He gets the bike going. He was down with Tyler Bowers going into the first turn. He is way behind.
This could be devastating to Reed's title hopes. And Stewart has trouble as well. You see Mike Gosler, the mechanic for Reed, walking away dejected to the mechanics area. Reed has no choice now but to go as absolutely hard as he possibly can. There is Mike Gosler, Reed's mechanic. You can see the frustration in his eyes. Meanwhile, their teammate, Michael Lessie, on the other Rockstar Makita Suzuki, has the lead.
How about Michael Lessie with that great start? Look at the start here. This is Chad Reed right there. Watch him get bumped by Millsaps halfway down. Now watch him cross run and come into Tyler Bowers, who was not expecting Reed to do that. very unfortunate. Reed has not gotten out of the gate tonight like he needed. And consequently, he's going to have to work for it here in this race. You see Laninovich.
He was like a pinball in there, Jeff. He went from Millsaps into Grant and then into Bowers and then down onto the ground. And here is Stewart, who's not having a great run either in this main event. He's very deep. He's back outside of the top 10. So Reed is only about 5 or 6 positions behind him right now. Here comes Stewart through the field as hard as he can. Trying to get around riders as quickly as he can. That's Matt Bonney.
Stewart being very cautious here as he gets through Bonney. Picked off a couple of riders, and at the stripe, that's Stewart and Ken.
Yes, now where is Reed? That's the question. How far back is Reed? And more riders going down.
That's Marsack.
Yep, Jacob Marsack goes down, and Reed picks his way past him.
I tell you, Ralph, Reed isn't that far behind Stewart right now, and Stewart really being careful here. He gets trying to work his way past Ivan Tedesco.
And Jeff, we talked about it all night. Getting through traffic can be one of the big challenges here tonight. In fact, in talking with James Stewart's father, Big James, he said traffic is one of the things that he really has to keep telling James to focus on, because that can be a huge problem, because he is so much faster than the majority of the field that guys are not used to James coming up on them as quickly as he does with his closing speed.
There's no doubt about it. James just absolutely goes for it. Let's see if he gets to the inside right
now.
here.
He's listed in 7th. Oh, and he makes contact in there getting around Voss. If he can get around Voss, that'll put him up to 6th.
Stewart has the ability to ride through traffic like none other.
Reed listed in 14th, so he's about 7 to 8 positions behind. Stewart battling with Adams here on that Rockstar Huntington entry. Side by side as they fly over the jump, and Stewart takes another position away.
Take a look at this replay. This is Stewart as he doubles this. Nobody's done this all night. Stewart triples, comes up short, but still makes the pass on Wyndham. Nobody's even attempted that all night. Stewart's mind works so quickly. He is absolutely throwing caution to the wind and going for it.
And a great battle at the front. Washington native Ryan Villapoto on the Monster Energy Kawasaki, the green bike. Oh, struggling through the whoop section, but you heard the crowd cheering him on as he sits in 2nd, trying to catch up to the Suzuki of Mike Alessi. And Alessi going for his first ever career Supercross victory. It would be the same thing for Villapoto if either one of these two could be the first to the checkered flag here tonight.
And as Alessi's out front, it's James Stewart that is over 11 seconds behind right now. And how ironic is it that years ago in the amateur racing, as they came through their careers, it was Alessi and Villapoto battling it out. Now, on Villapoto's home turf here in Washington, another Alessi-Villapoto battle is brewing.
And remember that Villapoto, Jeff, has been so sick for about the last 6 weeks. Finally getting back his first race back after battling that illness. Here he is, fighting for a win in front of his hometown crowd.
Look at how difficult the track is, Ralph. There's like 5 ruts coming out of there.
Jeff, as they went across the finish line, just to keep you up to date, Stewart in 5th, Reed in 13th. Disastrous for Reed in the championship if they finished that far apart from each other.
And I tell you, looking at the lap times, it was Alessi with the fastest lap, a 54.4. Stewart, who had a clear track, was only a 55.2. So Alessi, fastest man on the track. But you have to think, after Villapoto's caught up this lap, there it is, Villapoto a 54 also. And that's Millsaps just out of your screen there.
Of course, Millsaps involved in that start line incident that got Reed's night off to a horrible beginning. Stewart still in 5th, and he's closing in on Andrew Short. Reed still listed in 13th now, behind Bonney.
Lap 7 of 20.
And here comes Stewart.
And Stewart
closing in on Andrew Short. Here he comes side by side, and he jumps past him, and Stewart's got another spot and even more points towards the championship.
This could be a huge night because Chad Reed is not moving past traffic like he needs to.
He is the points leader as of now. James Stewart will have a 5-point lead over Chad Reed as the series would move on next week to Salt Lake City. Another race you'll see here on CBS.
Devastating night for Chad Reed, sitting back in 13th. There's a lot of racing left. The strong will survive.
Oh, down goes Alessi! Alessi watches the lead slip away! The Washington native, Ryan Villapoto, brings his home state crowd onto their feet as he takes the lead here in Crestfield in Seattle. And quite possibly, in a few more laps, Jeff could have his first Supercross Series victory.
Little less than 12 laps to go, and the fans here are on their feet. They're loving what they're seeing as Villapoto takes over the lead. He has to keep his head. He has to keep charging forward. Trust his training and all the work that he's done.
Let's see how he made it happen.
Watch Alessi here as he comes into the whoops. Gets on the gas a little too soon, and you can see that stripe right off the top there, where the rear tire just lost traction. And how many times have we saw that tonight?
Ryan Villapoto, after battling through illness for about 6 weeks this season, he finds himself on the precipice of taking his first Supercross victory. Ryan Villapoto continues to lead here in Crestfield, looking for his first career Supercross Series victory.
And what a place to do it, right?
Man.
In front of the home crowd. I'm telling you, number 7, James Stewart is finally on the gas. He's turning to 54.9. Villapoto 54.8 that time around. So Villapoto really putting in some fine laps. He is super fast.
Stewart has climbed up to 4th. Reed still stuck in 13th.
Reed has not moved his way past traffic like he needs to. You have to wonder if the mental side of things and the devastation of that crash off the start has really taken its toll, because he knows that James Stewart is in front.
Well, you saw Millsap's Alessi, and here's Stewart. Stewart looking to gain more points as he closes in on Alessi in the battle for 3rd.
Alessi getting a little squirrely. He misses a shift.
And he's going to lose the position. Here's Stewart inside for 3rd. Alessi tries to come back.
Alessi just pulled in behind there. I think Stewart was a little apprehensive, wondering if the Suzuki rider was going to really try a block pass to get back through there. That's Chad Reed's teammate. Both riders keeping it very clean. Now there's another rider down. Billy Laninovich.
Stewart! Boy, you can see, Jeff, he put all the power to the ground, and the rear end of that San Manuel Yamaha started to spin around on it.
It is a difficult track. At times, it appears that the riders are not being very aggressive. It seems like they're tiptoeing around, but I'm telling you, to be on that bike, to be the one inside that helmet, it is anything but easy. Okay, they're out there, and it is very difficult to keep the bike straight and to keep all your momentum going, because there's so many small edges and small ruts on the track. We've seen it time after time tonight where that track just reaches up and bites you. Stewart cannot afford to have any falls here. This is a great opportunity to take control of this championship with just a few rounds left.
James Stewart, the 2007 Supercross Series champion, trying to win his 2nd title. Arguably considered the fastest man on the planet on a Supercross machine. Always flat out. Doesn't know any other gear but top gear.
But I got to tell you, Ralph, this race here tonight, James Stewart has not blitzed his way through. That's Adams.
Yep, there you see Adams down, getting going again on the Hart and Huntington machine.
Stewart has not blitzed his way through to the lead. He has been very patient all the way through here. He's methodically worked his way past.
Well, let's show you what happened to Adams, and it involves Chad Reed.
This is the Toyota replay here as Reed goes to the inside. and Adams just slows up, trying to give way to the championship points leader.
That was our Toyota moving forward replay, and that takes Adams out, but Reed has started to close his way in, Aaron. He has fought his way up to 9th, and that is going to regain him a bunch of points.
That's right, guys. Chad Reed keeps inching away, keeps picking away at this battle. But something that was brought to my attention earlier this afternoon was how thin Chad Reed actually looked. When I asked him, he said, actually, I have lost 15 pounds since St. Louis. And I asked him why. It's kind of like a shark hunting blood in the water. They try to keep their sickness under wrap or any kind of injury under wrap. But he did have a stomach sickness since St. Louis. He's been battling that. And he said every time he goes to eat something, he's having a hard time keeping it down. He's been extremely dehydrated and obviously drained of energy. He plans on putting 100% effort into this, but he was hoping that being a little bit lighter would work to his advantage. Obviously a devastating night for Chad Reed so far.
Jeff, it is such a brutal championship. 17 races in 18 weeks, beginning the first week in January, ending the first weekend in May. Crisscrossing the country from the Pacific Ocean to the Atlantic Ocean, spending a lot of time back and forth in airplanes throughout the winter. It is so hard for these riders to do all the training, the hard racing, and to stay healthy.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it that the riders put in the time. They tear their bodies down and rebuild them back up, and all the travel and bumps and bruises. We haven't seen one rider this year that hasn't taken a spill sometime or another. So
Reed gets another position as he gets around Ivan Tedesco. That'll put him up to 8 and a couple more points. Come back to Chad Reed.
It's going to be tough for Chad Reed here. This is, you can see these riders just really tiptoeing through there. But now the battle starts to heat up.
Here's Stewart to the inside on Millsaps. Can he get him? That would be for second. Davey Millsaps having one of his best rides in the season. In fact, Millsaps has not finished better than third, which he's done twice this year at Anaheim, 3 and in Daytona.
Isn't it crazy how Millsaps, though, on these types of tracks, he just excels. There's just something about letting it all hang out and riding these ruts that really is his specialty. And he's put in a great ride here tonight. But Stewart knows that if he gets past Millsaps, that's 2 more valuable points towards the championship.
Hugely valuable. And you can see how quick things can turn the way they did tonight. Here comes Stewart. Millsaps, one of the biggest riders in the field when it comes to physical stature. Does that help him getting around a rough track like this?
Well, he's doing something right. There's no doubt about it. But the pressure is on from James Stewart. Stewart to the inside.
Can't get there just yet. Over the finish line, John.
And I'm telling you, Ralph, how Stewart's pivoting on those turns like that. Uh-oh, here could be to the inside. Let's see. Millsaps gives it up.
Has it. Great move by James Stewart. A spectacular move in one of the slower sections on the racetrack. But Stewart makes it work. Puts himself into second place. Reed is still behind Josh Grant in 8th. And Ryan Villapoto with a 7.5-second lead over James Stewart with 5 laps remaining.
You'd have to think this is a pretty comfortable lead, but hey, let's take a look at this replay of Stewart on the pass for Millsaps here. Now watch Millsaps. He's been going inside here and inside this next one. He just pulls to the outside. Go ahead, take the inside line. I do not understand that, why Millsaps would just let him by and not race for that position. Anyway, the number 2 is out front. This is a great place. And there always seems to be something about these hometown, events and things like that that gives you the extra motivation, the extra confidence. Not to mention Reed and Stewart having bad starts. That factors into this.
But Ryan has been very fast all night.
He has been. This is the best he's been all season.
Yes.
So, hometown crowd, the family, friends, everybody supporting him. He is less than 4 laps away from his first win.
He's had 3 third-place finishes this year. Houston, San Francisco, and Atlanta. And the former Light Series champion, one of the stepping stones up to the Supercross class, on his way to a huge mark on his resume, a Supercross Series win. Jeff, you remember your first Supercross class victory?
Yeah, that was a great night, and you get in the record books and all that sort of stuff, but I'm telling you, for Villapoto here, he's won plenty of races.
Oh, boy! He almost threw it away there, didn't he?
Yeah, and it's one of those nights. It's not over till it's over, but Villapoto is a champion, and he knows how to win. And I'm sure there was a lot of people that were doubting him earlier this season because he was not on pace like he'd like to be.
You see the gap between Stewart and Villapoto. Look how close this got.
Yeah, watch this. This is out of that second turn area. Now watch him just get a little front wheel high there. If he gets a little farther to the right, catches a tough block, and flips the front wheel, end of story. Little over 2 laps to go. Ryan Villapoto, Monster Energy Kawasaki, living a dream right now. So close.
Reed, by the way, has battled up to 7th. So he keeps, every time Stewart gains a little, Stewart starts to break away and Reed chips a couple back.
It's amazing. This is a very smart ride by James Stewart. He has been very cautious. He has not rushed tonight whatsoever. Okay, he has been very patient, and that's something that we don't see James Stewart usually do. He usually just goes for it.
And for Ryan Villapoto, such a family affair. His grandfather, his parents, so involved in his Supercross racing, coming to the tracks with him each and every week. Even when Ryan was missing a few rounds, his grandfather was still showing up at the racetrack, so involved in the sport.
Yeah, they definitely have a great family unit, very supportive. Oh, here we go, white flag for Ryan Villapoto. No mistakes, Ryan, and you're gonna have it.
Listen to the crowd on the white flag lap. The mechanics area of the Monster Energy team encouraging their rider for one more lap here in Westfield.
He takes that checkered flag. RC's gonna owe me.
Ryan Villapoto out front. One of the most sought-after riders out of the lights ranks to step up to the Supercross class. So many people saw this young man riding, Jeff, and said he could be the future superstar of Supercross. And he's celebrating here in front of the hometown crowd.
I'm telling you, this race isn't over yet, Brian. Keep it on 2 wheels. This is one of those tracks that can reach up and bite you. But wow, is he appreciating the crowd here, and the crowd loves Villapoto.
Ryan Villapoto coming back from the sickness, battling his way to health, and now to his first Supercross win in the home state race. Ryan Villapoto's a Supercross winner. James Stewart comes across the line in second, and the championship has changed completely here in the Monster Energy AMA Supercross Series. Here is Chad Reed fighting his way to the finish, hoping to get as many points as he can.
Has not been off the podium all season until tonight. Devastating crash before the first turn, taking him out of it.
His worst finish of the year, a 3rd place at Anaheim 1. And Chad Reed is going to finish an extremely disappointing 7th as he sees the championship points lead slip away. But Ryan Villapoto is a huge winner here in Seattle. The results from here in Seattle, and Ryan Villapoto becomes the 2nd rookie this season to get their first career victory in the sport, joining Josh Grant, who got one at the season opener in Anaheim. Let's head right down to the victory podium. Here's Aaron.
Every single fan here in the Quest Field was on their feet cheering for the hometown boy, Ryan Villapoto. Ryan, where does this moment rank out of all the victories you've taken home?
You know, it's definitely up there. Couldn't have done it without my team, Monster Energy Kawasaki, and I'd just like to dedicate this to my mechanic, John. His father passed away, and thank you, John, for all your hard work.
Well, this championship is going to be settled in Las Vegas as Stewart and Reed continue to march on, and we will be there in Las Vegas at Sam Boyd Stadium to see who will be crowned the 2009 Monster Energy AMA Supercross champion and the FIM World Championship. Well, the points have definitely changed as we get ready to head to Salt Lake. But Reed battle back, it's only 3, and that is the difference between 1st place and 2nd place, Aaron.
New point leader, 3-point difference. James, what a day it was for you. Did you yourself know what happened with Chad in that first corner when you took a look back?
No, you know, pretty much I was just trying to stay out myself, and man, I came out like 15th or something like that, and I got tangled with some guys back there. I actually stalled my motorcycle one time, and I was like, dude, just try to get up on the podium. And I saw how far Ryan was gone, and I got around Davey, and I was content to stay there. And I kind of knew where the points were and stuff, and I was like, I'll take it right now.
Tonight was all about keeping it on 2 wheels. Congratulations.
That's the first time all season we've seen James Stewart actually kind of back it down a little bit and play a little bit of a conservative role, and it played out so well.
And he was second.
And that's what a champion has to do. He has to do what he has to do when it's available to him, and he did it, Aaron.
Davey Millsap's probably had one of the best rides of his season. Davey, what is it about a track? The rougher, tougher it is, the more you excel.
You know, honestly, I just got a really good start somehow, and you know, my American Honda Red Bull racing team, you know, just, you know, everyone that's been behind me, my mechanic, my trainer, my fiance, you know, just my agents, they have all been pushing me so hard, and you know, I'm promised myself I give it 100%, and I'm going to get it.
Meg and Aaron Bates. I'm Ralph Shaheen. So long from Seattle, where Ryan Villapoto is your winner.